this video is a painting of an eye, which, as you can see, I've done quite a few of them, and it's all to do with how we portray ourselves using makeup, costume, outward appearance, that sort of thing. The lady who this is, I went to college with, she's got absolutely beautiful eyes, and when I was messaging her and talking to her about it, she started talking about motifs and designs that could be incorporated, and I noticed she had tattoos on her hands, absolutely beautiful, and I thought that would be really good. I said, so what is it about the tattoos? And she said, well, there's the feather, and she mentioned being guided by the universe, and I thought, that's perfect. That's exactly where I'm coming from, is that she's used something visual to enhance her views on certain aspects, whether it's spirituality or whatever. So I was really pleased to do this one. I love the way it's come out, and I hope she does too. So this is just the painting all the way through, with the image at the end. I streamed it on Twitch. You can find my Twitch stream at Gill Nicholas Delusions, and that's what I'm planning on doing. Is if I'm doing anything in the studio now, I'm just going to throw a camera on it and let people see what I'm doing, look at my process, ask me questions about it, and then condense it down into videos for YouTube for later reference, or whatever people want to keep in touch with what I'm up to. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to these YouTube videos. It really does help in the process of where I want to go next with my artwork, which is exploring my ideas of self-expression and identity, but with being able to do it through videos and through the camera lens as well. It becomes more of an interactive thing. People can then give me their views on it, which will send it in different directions. So it's an information giving tool, but it's also an information collecting tool for me too. So thanks very much. I hope you enjoy the video, and I look forward to the next one. Thank you. Just planning it out for the first, deciding where things are going, because I want the eye to sit in a certain place on the page, or on the canvas. See, straight away I need to bring it, or do I? I think that'll be okay actually. That's just where it's going to sit. So as soon as I've got the placement like this, I straight away start looking at tones. Where's my darkest, which is right up here. Leaving the lightest bits of the painting are here, around here. So the rest of it needs to be darker than that. So I protect my lights, which is that area there, obviously around here and down here, and the rest of it needs to be darker. Right. Just adding a bit of titanium white with the raw umber now, just to get some paint down on the light areas that I want. So the colours I'm using, burnt sienna, raw umber, crimson red, cadmium yellow, ultramarine and titanium white. I might bring some cobalt blue into that, which I probably will actually, but for now I'm just using those. So I mix a colour and think, right, where, I know that colour appears on the painting, but where else does it appear? So I'm just trying to keep it simple. So the whole point behind doing these eyes is, what I'm looking into is how people use their appearance, makeup and costume, accessories, tattoos, body modifications to actually enhance who they are, but also sometimes to cover up something. Most of the people I know do it to enhance who they are. They do it as a form of self-expression. I just found myself brushing in time with the music then. That was a bit weird. I'll keep going quiet, I know, but I want to get the blue tones in this right. She's got reflective blue tones, and I think they're really, really important in this painting, so it doesn't become flat. I need to get those blues in. So I'm looking at the colours that she's got, and I'm not trying to copy them. I'm trying to pull a painting from that. You see, I'm noticing just hints of all sorts of colours and yellows and things. Resolution on that bit there. Sometimes you need to do quite drastic marks to remind yourself how the painting is fitting together, so you don't get lost in small detail and lose the actual shape of the painting. It's all very good if, like, you've got beautiful skin and everything's worked really well. You've got all the detail in the eye. But if it isn't actually doesn't actually look like what you wanted it to look like, then it's a bit of a pain. Oh. It may look as though I've got the placement wrong and I've got all this space down here, but there's a reason for that, and that will make sense when because as you know, with anyone who's been watching my eye paintings, it's not just a general painting of an eye. I add bits to it. I add makeup to the eye to make it look I add makeup to the eye to show an enhancement of the eye, or the personality of the person whose eye it is. That's the idea. So that down here is going to be where the actual design is, but I wanted that to be exactly in the middle. Well, not exactly, but yeah. So it's going to come round down here, the design, and with it coming down here, I needed the weight of something up here so that it shifts over there, because as I bring down here, it'll shift it back down this way again to get the composition right. Every time I put paint on now, I'm thinking skin or hair or whatever the surface is. I'm not thinking about colour now, I'm thinking about the actual surface. So I went from planning to tone to colour, and now I'm looking at surface. I find it helps me in bringing the painting along all at once, instead of trying to get one part of it completely to a finished point and then another part of it to a completely finished point. I find it easier to plan it all, then tone it all, then colour it all. And it also helps because then I can make adjustments. It's easier to adjust as I go along, especially if I've got the planning wrong. And then by the time I've got to this bit, I've done the planning to get it right, I've got the tone to get it right, I've done the colour to get it right, I've made minor adjustments all the way through. So at this point I should be quite happy with what's going on. And I've got all those layers of colour underneath to inform the painting. Yeah, I need to go really drastic. Everything's getting a bit white and washed out, so time to do a drastic glaze. See that bit there is actually lighter, but on the painting it's saying no, not like this. And you've really got to listen to the painting and not just say, well, it says it's like that. Like, no, it's not. That's better. All starts to work together. It all starts to work together. because it's for a specific person, I want to try and capture a bit of her in it. So she has tattoos on her hands, and I'm gonna put the motif of the tattoo on the hand going round the outside of the eye. Keep saying I'll go and do the eye and then not doing it. I'll do it in a second. Keep seeing bits that I want to do differently. Right, let's do this. I'm going to use a little sketchbook just to get an idea of where I'm going to do the... So that's the painting that I've got, and I've left plenty of space around the bottom to do the motifs. Feather going in line with the eye there, so maybe I don't need to do all that skin absolutely perfectly. There's going to be a line going around that, and I think this is tying in with what she's got already on her hand, and this is working from designs she's already got on her hands. Yeah, that'll work. That will work. So it's that sort of thing, but it's just a quick sketch. It's just so that I can it was planning it out in my head rather than planning it out in real life, as it were. Right, and I want it to look as though it is actually on the skin. So starting here, that's the starting point. Don't mind if it goes off the edge of the paper, off the edge of the canvas. Need it to be longer. It's a good thing about doing it on top of the glaze, I can just alter it slightly. That's more like it. So it doesn't look like I've just painted it on, it actually looks like it's sitting on the skin. That'll be the next bit. This bit I wasn't planning on doing. It wasn't in my sketchbook, but it just sort of made sense, so I'm just going for it. Needed to get that. It's strange how towards the end of paintings you get to see really blurry problems, and I think that's why I don't like absolutely finish an area until really close to the end. Even something as simple as having the pupil the wrong size. Not the pupil, the iris. Can just stop it being the person it's supposed to be. And it was only glaring obvious when the rest of the... See, I made this bigger. Right at the beginning, I made the pupil bigger, the iris bigger, and I really didn't need to. What I needed to do was just make it longer. I can do something about it, but you can't tell that until see, it's no good working on all the details and everything when whole chunks of it are the wrong colour. I think rather than just straight cobalt blue, I'm going to mix a bit of raw umber with the cobalt blue. I don't think this halo is just straight cobalt blue. So it's shaded in there, it will be shaded. And where it's on the highlighted area up here, it's highlighted. Well, it's lighter. It's not highlighted, it's lighter. Let's get this glaze on. That'll make a big difference. It seems it sort of knits everything together. I don't know. I like it. Right, I'm pleased with that.